Hello and welcome. So this is going to be a lore reading. We're going to find out what we've learned by, let's see, what all did we do? We finished framing a Templar, and talked to Merrill, and, oh yeah, went into the smuggling tunnels. Those where Anders, well, we failed to stop Anders from killing a girl, and then we investigated Bartran's manner, finding him crazy. Anyway. Enasalin. Little knowledge remains of the Great War the Tevinter Imperium waged on the elves in Arlathan. Many human scholars believe that Arlathan was the only elven settlement of note, and that if elves existed elsewhere on the continent, their forces were at best negligible. My conversations with the elves, however, indicate that there was a time when the elves had many cities, and it's possible that the elven civilization declined long before the Imperium entered the height of its power. An example of such a place is Sundermount, in the Vimmark Mountains near Kirkwall. According to Dalish legend, there was a burial site for elders in the location of a great battle between Imperial and Elven forces. Nowhere near Arlathan, if one believes the city was near the forest of the same name in the northeast Theodos. The arcane warriors that remained at the mountain to defend the slumbering elders were known as the Ensalin Abelas, or Sorrowful Victory. These elves knew they were going to die, but were bound by duty to protect their charges. The enchanted armor that belonged to these warriors was looted by the Imperial victors, so pieces that resurface today are considered relics of great importance. From Investigation into Arlathan by Alsted the Sage, 918 Dragon. Wow, now the fact that I have a piece of that equipment, I feel like I should return it to the Dalish. Places, anything in lore? Yep. The Enigma of Kirkwall. Great. After pursuing another dead end, we were attacked by a Milfikar. My field of view will not make it. The fences are tipped. Oh, what? Maze of caves, sewers, and hidden passages. We found 3 Tevinter chambers already looted, but today we found one closed. It was a small cell containing a few trinkets and a common tome, but it symbolizes hope. The magisters had hundreds of mages deep below Kirkwall. They lived and researched there, far from the scrutiny of common men. Why would they need to avoid the scrutiny of common men? Many ancient series specialized in arcane research. That doesn't seem like a very lucrative field, but why did Kirkwall hide its efforts here? Why go to such pains to keep it out of sight? Were they a cabal of renegade magisters, or was this a special project of the Archon? Basket of Lost Socks. In my career as first enchanter in the Circle of Ansburg, I have lost 208 socks of various and sundry description, utterly without a trace. Sir Maloric, the Templar who supervises the Circle's laundry rooms, assures me that this is a common natural phenomenon. Hogwash, I say. It is physically impossible for an article of the material world to vanish completely and leave no signs of its passage. The only rational explanation, therefore, must be that the disappearances are magical in origin. This, I hope, will be the definitive treatise on the subject. I set upon my research on the following premise. Since it is a well-known fact that objects of worldly origin cannot travel between places in Thedas without crossing through the intervening distance, then the socks must originate in the Fade itself. Socks are from the Fade. They are emanations of some spirit projected into the waking world and whimsically recalled when the spirit desires. I therefore devise a plan to observe my socks over a period of 8 months. I hid within a sock blind so I might catch them unawares, both in the physical realm and in the Fade, and hopefully witness their natural behavior firsthand. From the interplay of spirits, in the common laundry room by first enchanter Ludwig of Ansburg. You know, this sounds like something that Terry Pratchett would come up with. Crate of the live Deathwatch beetles. The loud tapping sound of the Deathwatch beetle is widely believed to foretell death in the household. In Navarra, the beetle is prized. Households sometimes keep one in a small cage for good luck. However, the Raveni consider them to be an extremely ill omen and kill the beetles on sight. The strangest reaction to the Deathwatch beetle, however, happened in Valrayo in 862 Blessed. Upon the death of her husband after a long illness, Lady Eveline Fernanda took the beetles so much that she commissioned a doc's silken gown patterned after its distinctive appearance, right down to the legs and wings. Her arrival at the royal court, this ensemble sent a stir throughout the empire. Within a week, every dowager in Orlais was wearing beetle brooches, beetle masks, and capes evoking beetle wings. The sensation finally came to an end when the widow of Lord Verchin appeared in Ball with live death beetles in her hair. One fell onto the Emperor while he was greeting the Lady Virchin, and His Majesty's scream could clearly be heard on the outskirts of the city. The horrified Emperor declared that never again were such creatures to appear in his sight. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Further China TV. Velvet Kalin. The Velvet Kalin is a portrait of the late King Kalin of Ferelden painted on luminescent velvet. According to rumor, King Kalin commissioned a large number of these paintings. These portraits were distributed to stores around Denerim shortly after his coronation. The king received a portion of the profits from each sale. The coins funded his ever-growing kennel of Mabari war dogs. So, the war dogs were more like a rich person's pet project rather than an effective war force? Art patrons throughout Thedas find the Velvet Kalin singularly revolting. As part of her ongoing mission to rid Thedas of their ghastly influence, Orlesian art collector Blachant de Lemont is offering a reward for every Velvet Kalin brought to her. Mistress de Lemont has publicly derided the paintings and has been quoted saying, "I despise furry art." Oop. Characters. Nope, nothing on characters. Letters and notes. Starlock's letter. To Her Excellency Divine Justini, I am well aware both you and Knight Commander Emeritus have rejected my proposal, but I beg you to reconsider. The mages in the Free Marches are past controlling. Their numbers have doubled in 3 years, and they have found a way to plant their abominations in our ranks. They cannot be contained. Tranquil solution is our answer. All mages at the age of majority must be made tranquil. They'll coexist peacefully, retain their usefulness. A perfect strategy. It's simple. The best way to ensure mages obey the laws of men and Maker. I remain, as always, your obedient servant, Sir Otto Ulrich. Notes. No notes. And that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Do any relevant things to YouTube's buttons, and have a nice day.